Hello and welcome to a couple of Maes, episode 3, Life Post COVID. Alright, and let's get started. Just to make sure everyone knows, Daniel and I are in very different locations, handling COVID very differently. Uh, I am in Canada, and Daniel is in Costa Rica, and we both think we have it better than each other, I find. Let's start by getting the background. How is Costa Rica doing, Daniel? Tell me everything.
Okay, so right now our cases are going down. It's been pretty chill. Vaccination is going so slow. You can't even imagine. Like, I don't even know when I'm gonna get a vaccine. Being a med student, I should be like on top of like the normal person. But even I think doctors are struggling to getting like to get vaccinated right now. I don't know. It's haven't heard anything other than they started vaccinating old people, and that's all I heard. I think some doctors, like emergency medicine type of thing,
True.
I
Uh,
think it's gonna be like a long time till I get vaccinated.
Canada is still on the same boat, which is incredible. We have 3 million coming in, which you're like, oh, that's quite a lot. But it really isn't. It's barely enough to get like 30% of the population in, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know when the rest are coming. Right now, I think both of us are looking at the US kind of jealous because the US is like by the end of next month or something, it's gonna have like a lot of the populations could be vaccinated, which I'm super jealous of.
Yeah.
But yeah, here my university has a what our ICE campus is turned into a vaccination center, which is quite cool, I must say. But it's also like how much longer because Canada there's no real execution plan. So
Mhm.
Uh, and I have a
Yeah.
question for you regarding
Okay.
lockdown or quarantine. How many were there in Costa Rica? Because here in Canada, we had three major lockdowns. One in the beginning during March, like end of March 2009. Was it 2019 or was it 2020? No, 2020. March 2020. Um, then there was one during December, which was like a crazy lockdown, and then there was the one that we're still in that one now, but like Canada classified itself like the stay-at-home order and a quarantine at different things for some reason.
So, but basically, we've had like one overall. It's just, uh,
Is it
I don't know.
continuous, or is
Yeah,
it
it was a
like?
continuous thing.
Mhm.
It's like you were here by the first lockdown, well, the first phase of the lockdown, which was just like nobody goes out. And it was like super hard to get out. It was just go to the supermarket, come back.
I'm not sure what you're talking about because I left the country when it was super hard to get out, which is hilarious. It was just a strand of luck, to be fair, because it was the only plane that was leaving the country at the time.
I know you got here, or like you got later on. You got here later on.
Oh, okay, I
Because
see
I
what you mean.
remember like May, it has started in May, and we couldn't even leave our houses. It was just complete lockdown. Nobody gets out, nobody does anything. Then it started like freeing up a little bit. Like, oh, you can get out, but on it was like until 4 p.m.
Oh, I remember that. I remember because
Yeah.
my mom used to go out to the bar to drink, and she'd be like, "I have to be back before 4." And it's like it was the weirdest thing because I'm not big into going to bars, so my mom's like, "Want to come?" I'd be like, "No." She's like, "Okay, make sure I'm back before this time." I'm like, "I'm not your mom." Like, I just thought it was ridiculous. I do enjoy, you know, uh, looking back at the time of quarantine when it first started. I feel like we all do, right?
Yeah.
I
It
mean, I mean, it looks
it's like
like you probably
wow.
didn't, because you were like, as a doctor, like studying for medicine, like being there and doing stuff practically is so important.
it is like at first, I was like, oh yes, finally, I don't have to. I remember like the day they told us. I was getting ready. It was super early. I had class at 9 a.m. And then at 8, they sent an email saying like, it's just gonna be a week. Don't worry. You're not gonna come back for a week. And I'm like, yes, a free week. So they didn't have like Zoom or anything planned out. They just said,
Just a
please
week.
don't come. Yeah, just a
Okay.
week of like not having any like assignments or anything. We still had tests by like next week, but we said, oh, finally, 1 week free.
Yeah, so
Then
basically the equivalent to a Holy Week, like a free Holy Week.
exactly, it's just spring break, just something like that. It's like a week, just
Hmm.
a week in the middle of, and then I remember they said like halfway through the week, like, oh no, this is going to be like not just a week, it's gonna be like a month. So they started with online classes and online tests and everything.
When I was there, do you remember that me and you were studying for something together? Do
I
you
remember you were studying for something. I remember. What do you remember that moment where you came to my house?
for my
Because
accounting exam?
yeah,
Yeah, that was
damn,
hilarious. Was that during quarantine? Because that feels super irresponsible if I did that during quarantine. Because,
yeah,
like,
that was during quarantine.
dude, I'm so
You had to
sorry.
come walking. Don't worry, no, it was okay. It was in the moment where quarantine was just like something
I
that didn't
remember.
exist. It was kind of weird.
All right, for reference, for everyone that doesn't know, Costa Rica during the first few months of COVID, like I'm not talking few, I'm talking first 4 months of COVID. We only had like what was it, 4 or 5 cases per day, and they were super like limited, and the government like was doing a pretty good job tracing down people that had it. So like we were pretty much going off scot free, and everyone was just like wearing their masks and like their little face shield because the Costa Ricans like to do the little combo where they like do the face shield and the face and the mask or whatever. Um, but it took so long for the numbers to start rising, and I remember when first people started like being like, "Oh no, it's going +10, it's gonna go crazy," and I feel like now Costa Rica is in the opposite side where everyone's like, "I don't give a crap what's going on," because I've
Yeah,
been told by my father that it seems like people there are not caring anymore.
that's the thing. Like they locked us up, and as you said, where we're having 5 cases, that was like big numbers for us for the first few months. And of course, if you're gonna have 4 cases of people a day for 4 months, people are gonna get tired and they're like, oh no, it's just a few cases and we're locked up in our houses. You couldn't even go out. I remember when Holy Week came, everyone was like, oh, they're going to go to the beach and whatever. You couldn't get out. It was just like, first few days, the only way you could get out was if you had a permit from like the place you worked. For example, if I worked at McDonald's,
Hmm.
I like McDonald's would have to give me a written permit that said like he works here and he has to drive to work.
I
And
remember that.
you had to have like the route, like the written down note to like exactly where you went through. Like, oh, you're gonna go through here and here and here, and that's how you get to your job, and here, 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 and that's how you get home. So the cops would pull you over and look at it and be like, "Oh, you're not going through your usual."
I wonder what happens if you're self-employed though. Like, if you're self-employed, do you write yourself a note? Do you like, for example, my father is in a lucky situation where he's like a partner. So like he could get his partner to write him up, and then he could write down his partner. But if you're like a sole proprietor, which for those who are not business savvy means like one person that owns the company. Um, if you're a sole proprietor, how do you get away with it? I guess you have to show. like the fact that you own the business. You're like, yeah, I own the business.
Yeah, that's what we had to do. Well, my parents had to do. They had to get a lawyer that said like, oh, they're the owners of the company. They cannot write a note for themselves because it would sound like super weird. So you had to get like a lawyer to write it down for you and prove that you were the only owner of the company.
That sounds so annoying.
It was so annoying. And then, well, it started to chill down for a bit. Then you came here,
Woo!
and well, we saw each other. We spent a few months together.
It was crazy. I felt like I dodged COVID like for so long. I dodged COVID for so long, and then I came back here when I really should have stayed there. I feel there's a few things that I kind of regret doing, and coming back is one of them. Mm, Actually, I'm not sure, because I've met a few people here that I'm gonna get into because like it's life post COVID, and that means that the decisions that we've made post COVID are gonna come into hand later. But I like the fact that Costa Rica is like letting people go out because like I feel guilty in Canada like leaving because like Canada is filled with a bunch of old people and like it has an aging demographic and it's like Costa Rica is quite young. It's a quite young country. A lot of people that are in Costa Ricans are young. Like most of the population in Costa Rica is like within their 30s, right? Like average population 30, like age
Mhm.
30, which is quite a good number, you know. But here in Canada, I feel terrible. I can't do anything. Everything's closed. All businesses are closed. Restaurants are the only ones that are open, and it's quite tragic.
Well, I think we're not like so different after all. It was like for a long time. Well, right now it's almost everything is open. But for a longest time, I think till December last year, there were still some like problems because that's the thing. We never went into like another lockdown, like you said you did in Canada,
Hmm.
but we had like our curfew and they were just extending and changing. Like, for example, it started with no cars outside at all. Then it went to, oh, okay, so if your license plate ends in these numbers, you can go out on Monday only.
I remember
And
that because I was there.
yeah,
And my mom was like, "Oh, I have to go do grocery this day," or like, not only that, but she'd fit in so many things. Like you know, she has to go do that and that. I have to go pay the house bills. I have to go do that because for some reason my mom's one of those people that don't have their house bills linked up to their bank. They have to go manually pay, which I find is like a horrible habit to have when I'm not paying stuff. Like I'm not sure if you noticed, but have has your post life COVID become more or less expensive?
I don't know.
Because
I
I'm
feel
ordering out more, so I feel like I'm
that's the
spending
thing.
money.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's more expensive or that I'm not like, for example, as soon as we entered quarantine, my parents used to give me like an allowance and that stopped. So I'm not getting that monthly allowance to like waste my money on like it was for gas and like paying my phone bill and everything. But after that, I'm not getting any money. So I don't know if I'm spending more money or if it's just like I'm not getting the money I used to have. So I look at everything really
Yeah,
expensive.
I see that. I think I'm trying to do a good job saving money, but quarantine is making it so hard. Uh, I just, as I said, I feel guilty leaving. So even if it's going to the supermarket, I'm just not going. I rather eat out or like stay in this local area where I feel that I'm much safer, or making everyone else feel safe because I feel like I'm very low, in low danger anyway. But you know, you never know with this type of stuff. Now, I want to shift gears into a more positive route, other than like losing financial stress, because I feel like me and you, like, even though we might have financial stress, it is quite a good because we are taken care of. But I want to maybe talk about some good decisions that we have made during COVID, because I've met a few of my new roommates during COVID, and to be fair, it was quite scary when I first met them because I'm like, do I need to wear a mask? Like I went downstairs and I'm like, oh man, I need to wear a mask right now. Like I need to, and they just came up, said hi to me, and I'm like scared the whole time. It was really funny. But I met my new roommates. They're really chill. I like all of them, and I enjoying myself quite a lot. And that was like, even though I said leaving Costa Rica was a bad decision because like I could always be doing school there, I feel like maybe this was a necessary thing that I had to do just because of like getting to grow up a little bit more, furthermore.
I get you. Like, I got into several things with quarantine. Not really bad stuff, but like, for example, I got into film photography. That lately I haven't been able to practice because I don't know. It's just hard to take a camera everywhere with you. There's not much to do,
Yeah, plus
especially with school and all.
if you're not leaving the house, then it becomes kind of hard to do film photography.
Exactly. Like, I would take it places if like life was back to normal and I could just, go out with friends and do whatever, which I sometimes do, but I don't know. It's just feels weird to like take a camera with you and I don't know. Feels like if COVID was in the picture, probably I'd be taking more pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, also
S-
I got into cycling, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I remember you. I was there when you were starting to get in, and I got killed that one time because I didn't eat breakfast, and I've learned my lesson. I
Yeah,
realized how
I learned.
important it is. I've realized I like at that moment, that specific moment, just for reference, we went out biking. We went like a really, really weird direction. We decided to go really hard in the first time we went in, so we went up this huge hill, which is known for being huge and really steep, and it's just like very long as well. So we decided to take this pretty big hill and go around like this area, and I get past all of it, but I turn to where it starts becoming a low hill, like going downhill, and I just start getting sick. And luckily, my mom and her a friend at the time, I'm not sure if they're dating or not. I never asked my mom if she's dating anyone, which is hilarious because she's always asking me if like my friends and I are dating or whatever. But so my mom passes by with her friend, and she just gives me a granola bar, and that granola bar just like makes me feel so much better. But I almost puked, which would have been hilarious during COVID, because like I'm at the side of the road, like next to the highway, and I'm just like about to puke.
Everyone looking at you like, what the hell is going on with him?
Yeah, it was quite messy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for putting you in that situation, by the way. I feel like that must have been
Uh,
uncomfortable.
no, I think I was dying too. Like I was trying to keep up with you. Like
And was I going
I don't know.
fast? Because I feel like my long legs means that eventually when I'm doing bicycling, like since I have a rhythm, like I might be going too fast because of my leg length, right?
You were going pretty fast up the hill, and I was trying to keep up with you, going extra fast. And when you stopped, I'm like, oh, finally. And then you got off your bike, and I'm like, oh no, what's going on? And as soon as I got off my bike, I started feeling it too. I was like, oh, damn, my heart was about to pop right out of my chest.
Yeah, it was
But
pretty
yeah,
messed up, but it felt really rewarding. I will not, like, I can't take that away from it, like the whole experience, especially because I'm the type of person that like doesn't do leg day that often, which is sad. But mostly, I want to point this out before, you know, you should do leg day. It's because I did a lot of basketball. So basketball, like I did a lot of running before, a lot of sprinting, and I usually do cardio regardless. But it was just not something I was doing at the time. So it was nice to get back into leg day.
pretty nice.
You only do leg day now, right? Because of biking, or using your pull up bar to do more.
It's weird. It's like I tell myself, oh, I should start doing more, like try to do a pull up bar, try to do some push ups, and I do it for like one day, and I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna do it too, and I never do it again, and it's the same thing like over and over every week. I'm like on the weekends especially, I go, oh, okay, I'm gonna start today. Like I'm gonna start this week. I do it that day. The next day I'm like, no.
I have an unrelated question to you. If in the future you were rich, would you get yourself a personal trainer to like adjust your meals, like set you up to go to work out in the mornings, and like literally be there with you so he could like lift you up? Because I feel like that's something I would do.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Like I would definitely do that. I think that's part of the thing, like for example with cycling. These past like 2 weeks, I haven't been able to like ride or anything, but I've felt terribly bad for not like riding. And it's not because I don't want to. It's because I've been like full of work and everything and I don't find it right. But now that I'm finally free, I'm like, okay, I can start now and I feel good about it. But at the beginning, it was just like just trying to force myself to do it. And I think that's what happens with everything. Like if I start forcing myself to do like push-ups every day and everything, maybe I'll get like used to it and start doing it by default. And I think that's a personal what the personal trainer is for. It's just somebody else forcing you to do stuff. It's not your mind. Because if you try to like think of it this way, you wake up and you're pretty tired and you're like, I should work out right now. But then your mind is like, oh no, we're tired. We can sleep off 5 minutes. 5 minutes turns into 10, and then you're late and you have to like run, do something else, and you never did the workout. So,
I'm quite
like,
impressed on how tired I feel when I wake up, even after like sleeping so long. And the worst part is, if you don't wake up fast enough, you'll just you just become more tired. Like it's just how it works now. As an adult, who would have thought? Who would have known? They didn't tell me this. I didn't
they
get a
didn't tell
memo.
me this either.
Ah.
Didn't get the memo.
All right, so we're gonna do something interesting with
Okay.
regarding COVID. We're gonna see if you know. Do you know anyone personally who has gotten COVID?
I don't think so.
Because neither have I. But I'm interested in knowing if any other thing, because you're a doctor, so I'm gonna ask, or becoming a doctor rather. Is there any
Yeah.
other like virus that takes away the sense of taste and smell? Because I find that taste and smell are such important factors to me that that would be the thing I dislike the most. Like if I ever get it, the fact that I cannot taste or smell.
Well, I think from what I've studied, I don't think there is one that targets specifically that. It's just like a side effect. Like, I don't know if you remember, like, before, because I haven't gotten sick in like almost 2 years now because of COVID and like just staying home.
True.
I, I haven't, I haven't been in contact with other people. So most of the time I'm not sick. Like, not most of the time. I haven't been sick for the
Yeah,
longest time.
most. I feel that.
So I remember like it's so normal whenever you have like uh congestion
Just like the
blocking
normal
your
flu.
nose. Yeah, just like the normal flu, blocking your nose is almost as close to losing both smell and taste. So that's why if you're trying to eat something and you like just like close your nose like this, just eat something, you won't taste as much of it.
All right,
And
this is the big one because
okay,
it's something that it's interesting. And I'm sorry for interrupting, but this is
don't worry.
the biggest topic I have, and we're
Cool.
we're almost halfway through. So this is
Wow.
the biggest chunk of our podcast is going to be dedicated to this one thing, because it is literally life post COVID, and we're about to talk TikTok, because that is life post COVID. Because I didn't get it till post COVID. Most of us didn't get it till post COVID because all of us were stuck at home, and we're like, sure, we'll download this Vine knockoff. And now I wake up and the first thing I open isn't Instagram. It isn't like YouTube. It's TikTok and I scroll through. And I want to know if this is something you do life post COVID as well, where it's just like
Yeah.
TikTok anytime you have free time, whether it be 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 15 minutes, just TikTok.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot. Like at first, like you said, it's like it's just a Vine and knockoff. It's not really good. It's for little kids. I think I'm just gonna stick to Instagram. And now, like almost a year after COVID started, it's part of my daily basis. It's like whenever, probably not like you wake up and like you get into TikTok. I still use Instagram more. But at night, when I'm like done with everything, I love to like just lay down and watch TikToks. And it's the weirdest thing ever because every time I look back into it, and I've seen several TikToks about it too, it's like everyone was making fun of it and everyone was like, oh, I'm never going to use TikTok, blah, blah. And here we are. Everyone's using it now.
I remember when I was watching TikTok compilations on YouTube because it started getting popular with the I Wanna Be Tracer and Hit or Miss. I guess they never miss, huh?
Yeah,
And
I
I was
remember that.
like, this is kind of cringy. I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna stick to the YouTube compilations. That's what I'm gonna do. And then when COVID hit, and you're like even I was like, oh man, and I was the biggest TikTok hater, like, and I was just like, let me get it. I forgot who told me to get it. I think it must have been my mom or something, because my mom's really into TikTok, and she's like, just get it, and I'm like, fine, and I got it, and the algorithm was so good it hooked me within like the first week. Like the first week sucks in TikTok, like it's so bad, and you're just like, oh, I hate TikTok, why am I keep coming in, why do I keep coming in? But eventually you start hitting gold and gold, and now I scroll in, like I scroll four, every four I scroll in is new content, plus it's gold. Like I'm not sure if you have the same problem I do, but on Instagram I keep seeing the same post over and over and over again, and it's just like annoying. And I feel like post COVID, I haven't been having that problem anymore because I'm just like TikToking.
It happens to me too. Like on Instagram, I look at a meme and I'm like, ha, this is funny. I send it to people and then I scroll, and the next four posts are the same meme over and over again. So I get tired of that. And I've gotten to a point where it's not even, uh, like, I don't even watch meme page stories now because sometimes they used to post really good memes. Now it's just like stupid games and like,
Advertisements.
yeah, exactly. So now I go and watch TikTok for
I am pretty
even
excited
reels.
though. I'm pretty excited because it means that like TikTok, it feels like Instagram meme pages, which I'm not big fan of, because like I find Instagram meme pages are good when they're eh, like they give credit to the people that do it, because most posts just repost their own stuff. Like half of that Instagram page nugget just is like reposts of other posts, and like the only post that they give credit to is like Instagram models, which is ridiculous. Like what type of weird world are we living in where like all the jokes are being reused and they're all copying off each other? And I'm just like, damn, no wonder everything I see is repeated. And the thing is, you know what TikTok reminds me of? It reminds me of when you and I were making videos for ourselves. Like, like Me and you did this independently. I did it with Anthony, but you did it with your Latino friends. You guys had news that you did. You even went on and did further than I did, right? You did videos further, like with higher quality than mine. I did mine with Anthony and stuff, but it feels like that. It feels fresh. It feels like a, like the Wild West again of YouTube.
Yeah, I get you. It's like it feels like whenever YouTube started and I was pretty young and I was making like you were young too and we're on the same page. Just like we didn't know each other yet or we didn't talk to each other as much. But I remember I was making YouTube videos and it feels much of the same. It feels like super it was like sometimes it's really high quality, but it's something more like I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it. It's like not it's real. Even if it's like staged or planned or whatever, it just feels more real than any like Instagram
Posts, yeah.
uh post or anything cuz every
Instagram
Instagram post
is completely
is
fake. Even my stuff, I'm like I feel fake because I find it to be like more of a like you know what Instagram is now. I've kind of turned into LinkedIn. You know what LinkedIn is?
yeah.
Yeah, it's basically that, but with pictures of you, and it's okay for a photo album, cause like it's nice to go back and have a photo album of places you've been and things you enjoyed and like maybe parts of your life. Like I posted something today on Instagram, and I thought I looked good, but like you know when I took that picture like 3 months ago, and I was just like been sitting on it to like it's like ah one day I'll post this, and it's just the worst part is I posted it now because no one barely anyone posts this now like today like these days. There's nothing to post about.
And
No one's flaunting anything. So
that's the thing. There's nothing to post about. I like the last post I made was because I graduated
true.
uh like
Congratulations,
halfway
by the
through.
way.
Thanks. Halfway through. It's I graduated from pre-med for everyone not in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
It's bachillerato, but you can't do much with it here. It's just pre-med.
Uh,
And yeah, that's like I posted that because it was like a big achievement in my life, blah blah. But before that, not much. Like I haven't been doing anything.
how many of your friends are on TikTok?
How many of my friends
Yeah. Is
that
there?
I know of,
Yeah. Do you still have
it's
friends that are not on TikTok?
that's the thing. Like I have friends that are in TikTok, but they don't post anything because
Yeah,
I
that's
know
fine,
you create videos and everything, but
dude. But
well, you
m-
create it. I
my
haven't seen it.
my videos are are like things I think of. Like it's like a creative outlet. I find my like wait, I find that having a creative outlet is entertaining, especially during COVID. Cause like
Exactly.
usually my creative outlets are like hanging out with people and just being my quirky self. You know, it's like some stupid shit like that where I'm just like I get energy from like being myself around other people. So it quite changes when I have nothing. So I'm like I'm gonna just be quirky online and do this or do that or show myself like. And the thing is, if you look at my page, it's like nothing concrete. Like there's no themes. It's just me
Yeah.
being like me, which is good. Like I have a story time in there, which is amazingly edited, and it only got like what 300 views, which I was kind of sad about. But
The
uh,
story one was really good. I liked it.
thank you. I wish more people appreciated that. But it's just, but it is insane how many people are on TikTok that don't post. But that's fine. I find that you're still a TikTok person if you don't post. Are all your
Yeah.
friends on TikTok then?
Most of them, I can think of a few that are not,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not into like memes. It's it's kind of weird. It's the type of person that laughs at Facebook memes. Not to offend anyone that laughs at Facebook memes. Sometimes they're funny, but those like memes that were funny like 5 years back, it's
Like
that
minion
type of
memes.
humor. Like the minion memes. They laugh at that and I'm like, damn.
I kind of feel sad that my family, like my Costa Rican side of the family, is kind of like that. But they're all on TikTok, which is that means that they're progressing in comedy. But also, like, I'm not really sure because like the algorithm might still be recommending Facebook memes to them, which is a real
Probably.
possibility. Uh, but yeah, I have a few friends here that are not into TikTok. But to be fair, they weren't into Vine. They weren't into like they just don't want to download it. They just don't want another app. It seems. Um, but most of them, like 4 out of 5 roommates, are on TikTok. Uh, Only me, 1 out of 5 people post on TikTok. And to be fair, listen up. My click through rate is 1 in every 3 people interact with my post, which is really good because like most girls get like a what 1 to 10 click through rate if you do the division or like whatever like the division is like what is likes through views, so you see the total amount of views versus the amount of likes and comments or whatever, if like non-similar comments or whatever. Like for example, if you like and comment, you just don't like you only count one thing because you interacted with it in a certain way.
You're right.
Regardless, it's just it is part of our life now because of COVID. Because I would never have gotten TikTok if COVID was not a thing. Would you?
Probably not, you know? I think since everyone was locked in and nobody like I don't nobody liked Vine. Vine.
What do you
Damn,
mean?
TikTok. No, no. Everybody liked Vine and everyone was still stuck on Vine and they're like, "Oh no, we hate TikTok." They just want to be like Vine wannabes.
Well, you know what I thought TikTok was at the time? I thought it was a musically replacement because musically had just recently been taken down. So all the musically creators were going over to toward TikTok, and that's why they're huge now. Like the Addison Rays or whatever. Like she's just a musically star. Like that's what she is. Like you boiled it down to like it's just like little hand movements and dances and her lip singing shit, and like 50% of the content of like initial content was that like the hit and miss girl was literally her doing a lip sync in a dance to the hit or miss, and literally the tracer thing as well. That's literally what I thought it was. But eventually that became super ironic and people started making fun of those people. And I'm like, and now that bullying is involved, I'm interested. I'm down to bully some people, you know what I mean? Like it's
That
just how it is.
that changed the game because everyone was just like, I feel like you're right with that. Everyone was just there because of Musically, and they were doing the same thing they were doing in Musically. But as soon as like making fun of others started happening, more people started joining and like they were trying to like create
Funnier
the type
content.
of yeah funnier like content like Vine type of thing, like the funny vines and everything. And I think that was pretty good, and that's when I started like noticing, oh, this video's from TikTok. It's pretty funny, and slowly I got into it until I got to a point where I was like, maybe I should download it. And you're right, that first week is terrible. It was all TikTok dances, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna like just erase the app. What the hell is this? And then after a while, it got pretty good. And since then, quality content.
Yeah, it's quite enjoyable if I do say so. It's just it has it feels human. It feels oddly human. It's the only social network that I could think of that feels human. Like to me, TikTok feels human. Facebook feels like a bunch of like a corporate website. Instagram feels like a bunch of robots. Uh, let's see. Twitter feels like a bunch of people complaining, which is literally the last thing I want to do. Like to me, complaining is like the worst. Like I hate people that complain. That's one of my biggest pet peeves with our class, like our graduating class, is that like
Mhm.
it was. I felt like most of my time in their presence was hearing them talk or like complain, which is fine. I don't mind that. It's just a matter of like they would all complain about the same thing together, and it's just like, oh, only one of you need to complain. If you just concur with them, it's fine. Just I've heard this for the 17th time, which is hilarious, but whatever.
I
And
think yeah, it was the same thing. That's why I don't like Twitter.
yeah, but TikTok
It's just
is fresh. I could open it. The only thing I don't like is the fact that whenever I open it, it just closes my Spotify. Like it just like it takes care of your music, and it's just annoying. You know what they could do? I think TikTok could take down YouTube. Like if it keeps moving forward like this, like and they make videos slightly longer, and they could like put it. I don't see why YouTubers would not want to put their content on TikTok either.
But here's the thing, like, I don't know. I think they're really different in so many ways. Because in YouTube, you can choose, like, oh, I want to watch this video, and I know with like TikTok, you can do two, but it's harder to look for a specific video because they don't have titles or anything. In YouTube, I could just like get into it,
True.
look up whatever I want to watch, or you know,
Have you been
oh,
getting
I found this
parts?
cool recipe.
Like I always get videos that are in parts, so like part one is so annoying. I wish that if they showed me a part, they would continue the parts. Like that would be enjoyable, and I could
Something they
do.
did,
Hmm.
sorry, something they did, and I noticed not long ago was that if you're like watching a video, for example, and it says, "Oh, follow me for part two," you can get into their uh, profile, and it'll show you like this was the video you were watching.
Yeah, I
It
do.
like
I enjoy that a
uh,
lot. It saves me the
before
time
that it
of
was
like,
hard.
yeah, because I'd have to scroll through every single one and listen to the beginning part of the video. I'm like, is this the video?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, but don't get me wrong. TikTok still has a lot of repost stuff from YouTube that is like stolen content. And every time I see that, I'm just like, get this out of my face. Like I always hold long press and just say not interested. Like even though the things that are there interest me, I'm not interested in people reposting. I follow the creators independently on their channels, whether I like them or not. Like for example, like someone like like the biggest example that I could come up with right now is this guy called Salty Fish. He makes content. He's a funny guy, and he posts highlights on TikTok. That's all he does. He posts highlights, which is enjoyable, right? Like
Mhm.
quick, like things that he said in a fast like reply. What's called witty, something witty he said, and I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. That's all I wanted to hear. Just something witty, something funny in this context is funny to me. But yeah,
I get you. It's really nice, to like have something else to do. I feel like weirdly enough, TikTok was something we were missing out
you think
on,
so?
and yeah,
Oh, there's no
because
way.
what would like I don't know, what
If
would your life be like if TikTok didn't happen? And like
I would have a lot
just
more free time.
probably like I'll be more productive and everything.
No,
But also
to be fair, I feel like I would replace it with YouTube or Instagram at the time.
at the time, but now that Instagram is like, for example, I cannot get into Instagram without looking at a girl's butt. And it's not that I even follow like that type of content. It's just ads are everywhere and they're like, "Oh, here's her Instagram." And I'm like, "I don't really care, honestly. Like just keep that out of my feed. I'm trying to look at
Yeah,
memes."
it is interesting how targeting in Instagram is only done based. It feels like on gender, because like I've never clicked on any Instagram model ever. Like I try to avoid all that stuff, and I understand sometimes, like for example, the one I was complaining about before, Nuggets posts the same ad with the same girl in the same pose, and it's like just butt, like an ass in my page, and I'm like, I don't like this at all. This makes me want to unfollow you. It's just like it's fine if you advertise a thing, just like don't advertise it the same way every single time, and not only that, but don't put a but on it every single time. And like, who are you
Exactly.
at? Like, are you advertising this to me? Like, am I supposed to get this for my girlfriend, or is it advertising it to girls for them to get to themselves? Because now I'm confused. Do I get this for my girlfriend? And by the way, I don't know about you, but I find TikTok has the same problem, except it's with girls that are like I find girls in TikTok unbelievably unhuman because they're all so fucking attractive. And I'm like, I've never seen a person like you in real life. So you're either fake or you're either fake or just like I'm just surrounded by the weirdest people ever. Cuz I feel like that's the same like is that something that you don't feel? Like everyone feels like so unbelievably attractive. They have to be some sort of like beauty filter that TikTok has. Like
I
I
don't know, but it has happened to me. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I know it has a beauty filter. Like every time I open TikTok and there's a thing, I'm like, I open it and there's like a beauty filter and I'm like, turn it off. I'm like, oh no, my face looks too clean. Like I don't know about you, but I hate it when my face looks somewhat clean. Like it's just like oh, nah. Like I mean like sure, like when it's clean and it like naturally looks fine, but otherwise when it's just like made by software, it just looks like unnatural.
Yeah, I get you.
Oh my God. Okay, so this is the another topic, kind of guiding off ourselves from quarantine to school to COVID to TikTok. How has TikTok affected your learning abilities? Cause I'm studying, and I'm like, I study for like literally 30 seconds, and I'm like, all right, one TikTok. It's just like, dang it, that keeps getting stuck in this stupid loop where I'm like, one TikTok. And they're so short that sometimes you're just like, one more. Is this something that you also get stuck on? Or is that.
Happens to me. No, no, it happens to me, but it doesn't happen with TikTok. I feel like I really control myself with watching TikToks only at night when I'm done with everything. But usually it's like Instagram that I'm
Mm,
stuck with. Like, I've started doing this thing called the Pomodoro method, which is there's even a timer I downloaded on my computer, which is you work for 25 minutes and then you get a 5-minute break. And after four like sets of 25 minutes studying, you get 20 minutes
is it helpful? Do you find
of
it to be
like
helpful?
it's really helpful. Usually in those 5 minutes, I try not to check my phone because I know I can't control myself. So usually I just get up, go get, I don't know, a glass of water and walk around for a bit. Whenever I get the 15 minutes, I usually grab my phone, and that's like the only moment I grab my phone. And it has worked because in the past, like I feel like I've never been addicted to something, but it's gotten to a point. It's not that I'm addicted to Instagram, and it's not that I'm like gonna close Instagram for my mental health or anything. It's that doesn't affect me as much. What affects me is that I get distracted easily, and I just send like a WhatsApp message to someone. I grab my phone, I send it, and then suddenly I'm on Instagram, and I'm like, ah, damn,
That
been here for the
happens.
past 10 minutes.
Sometimes I get bored of an app. This has happened incrementally over COVID, by the way. This never happened beforehand. Sometimes I get bored of an app, I close it, and I reopen it.
Mm.
And it's like, I just realized I know I don't want to be here. The thing is, TikTok doesn't allow that because TikTok, if you press the For You page, it's just like brand new content. And it's like completely fresh. Like every time I'm just like, oh, this For You page isn't dealing with me, I just press the For You page again. It just like changes it once more.
I get you. That happens to me. Like there's usually a point on the weekends, especially because like throughout the week I try to study as much and like keep my mind.
I'm quite jealous of
off.
your etiquette when it comes to studying. I have horrible study etiquette. Today I was doing a bunch of assignments, and I worked from 8 to like what 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was just grinding at it, and I was just like, every single time I'd have like maybe a second, like I'd go to the bathroom, and I'd finish going to the bathroom, and I'd be 5 minutes on my phone just on TikTok, and it was just
Look,
like annoying.
you can try the Pomodoro method. It has helped me. I'm not saying it's like the only way.
It's the only way, is what you're saying. What I'm hearing is you're
No,
telling me it's the only way.
no, but I didn't have a really good like I think I was I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but it's something I've tried to like get better at, like studying and like concentrating more cuz I remember like I used to be able to study for 8 hours straight. No breaks, no
What?
nothing.
Okay, dude.
Just go
I used to do that first year as well. Like first year,
go
you're just like
beast
a
mode.
machine. You're a machine. You're just going through
Yeah,
it, cause you're in panic mode. So you're just like, I must study. I must study. And now you know exactly what the like test feels like. You know exactly what to expect. So you're like, I know how to study. Like I know exactly what to study now. Instead of like study everything, right? So now it
exactly.
just feels like I'm not scrambling anymore.
With my case, it's now I can't do that for several things. It's a lot of like stuff to learn.
Hmm.
My summaries end up being like 300 pages long for a test, and I have a week to study, or less than a week sometimes. For example, this week I have vacations, but next week I have two tests, one on Monday and one on Friday, if I'm not wrong. So I'm gonna get this week and start studying for them and have time for them because it's a lot of things I have to study. And I don't know, it happened to me a while back that I used to like study for a long time and then get like a burnout. And I couldn't study for the rest of the day, or I'd wake up the next day and I'm like, I
You're not
can't
feeling it.
remember it. Yeah, I like I used to
You just don't remember anything.
study. I used to remember stuff like from the day before, but I try to like study. For example, let's say I studied 8 hours yesterday,
Hmm.
and now today I start studying, and like I can't get things into my head. Like I read something
Yeah,
6 times, and I still can't memorize any of it.
that's called. That's what I feel every single day. It's ADHD. That's what ADHD feels like. I have been blessed recently. Microsoft added a, Microsoft PDF reader. It can now
Mhm.
read to you. So
Oh, that's amazing.
now I have to engage myself and fidget with stuff. I have a bunch of fidget toys all over my desk. So I fidget with things and I listen, and I have to fidget with like both of my hands. And that allows me to like fully pay attention to it just by fidgeting, which is crazy. Because I used to think that the reason why I was learning was because I was writing things in my notebook. No, the notebook was just keeping me busy. And it was just like, oh my God. But now it's just like fidgeting. Oh, I hate going to school on my desk. I hate it. I hate it. I want to go back. I want to go back so bad. Oh, it's annoying.
I feel you. I think working from my desk, like taking notes and everything, 10 out of 10 experience. Like
Yeah, because you have all
lately,
the space in the world. You're like, you put the keyboard away, you put everything away. You're just like, oh, you could even fill a full like your full ass book. You could fill a yo. In why do universities give us these huge books and nowhere to put them? Like the desks are like they don't fit. You can't fit your laptop, your book, and your notebook in any of the desks.
I remember like when I used to go, well, yeah, when I used to go to university and take classes, there's a moment in my university at least where instead of having separate classes with like separate groups of the same generation, they just combine everyone into one single room, and
Like
the
a lecture
desks
hall.
there, like a lecture hall, exactly. And the desk we get is tiny, and they expect you to have like your computer or notebook and your book, and there's no space. Like you had to put it like on your lap.
Like high school style, because our high school also did the same, where we're just like, we had like the right hand, like the only like for notebook writing desks, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like, I remember that the way we did it in high school was like we had our laptops on our top, on the top part of the desk, and we had the books on our lap, and it's just like we used to angle ourselves slightly to like look at the book and then keep typing. Or if you were
Yeah, I
like me,
remember.
if you were like me, you just never had the book. I always like, I never took care of it, which is annoying considering my, like, I would have been annoyed if I was my father. If I told my father that I never used any of the books he bought for me in high school, he'd be pissed. Like like the school of course are paying for them and they're coming out of our like school money, but like I never used any of them. And the worst part is when they made us buy that one book, the Willow book. I can't believe she
Oh,
made us buy that. Like that's just
buy
like,
that, and we couldn't even keep it because I don't have it.
yeah, I don't have it either. What was the deal? Like not only that, but like that's such like a threatening thing to do. Hey, support my friend that made this book or your grade is in the, like that's messed up. Like and no one was able to like we're kids, we're not going to speak up about it. It's just messed up. All right, and now to the most important question, and I want to see how you're doing mentally post COVID, because I gotta say, when it started, I was a mental wreck. Like, I just got over, like, I just got broken up with. I was like, I was in a 2 year relationship, and all of a sudden the world went to like a standstill. And I thought it was just me that was coming to a standstill. I'm like, oh fuck, it feels like I'm the reason. Like it feels like, you know, when that happens, you're just like, oh, is it me? What could I do to keep going forward? And then you're kind of stuck in a situation where you're just like, fuck, I need to keep move forward. And then I realized I'm not the problem here. It's the world's also like stopping. So and then I got freaked out because I'm like I've never stopped. Like I've never stopped. I've always wanted to keep moving forward, but COVID has let me like stop and like self evaluate more. And I was able to do that luckily when I was in Costa Rica with you guys, and I was realized that like I don't really need like my girlfriend or anything. I could like I have, if anything else in Canada fails, like if I, let's say if I were to fail school tomorrow, I still have like really good friends and really good life to go back to in Costa Rica. And even like if I was poor, I'd still have good friends there. Like and I enjoy that because I feel like it's like it was a realization I needed, and my mental health has become quite better since then.
I get you. Like mentally, it's been a whole journey, you know. And that's something really nice. I told this story. I don't remember to who, but it was a pretty nice thing. I joined this association. It's like a student. It's like a student association for med students.
Is it like a club?
It's not like a club. It's the best way I can describe it is just like an association. It's just a bunch of students from different universities that join together, and they're like they do events like um I don't know, like I don't know how to. It's like I don't know. I don't know how to describe this, but uh, let me. Actually, I'm gonna look for the
Is
name
is it
of it.
is it just like a, oh man, an association? I guess like ASCA, where it's like a bunch of schools together, an association.
Basically, like it's it's just like a bunch of med students that got together and created this organization. And basically, what they do is help other like med students through like classes or whatever. They're not really classes. They're more mm, like they just
Struggles, just struggles, mental struggles.
not mental struggles. It was just like we're gonna give this free class online. You can join. Like more that type of thing. Like they also give you discounts on, for example, sign language classes and whatever. It's just
Oh, okay. So I see.
it's
It's like an improvement of like improvement like group. Where like self improvement or not just general improvement people.
exactly like it's like a worker is this has a name. What's the thing? Worker is that it's like of the same type of. It has a name.
Association, like workers. Another name for workers.
No, no, no. When people of the same
Group.
of the same group, like yeah, like
I'm
is
trying
it
to put
work?
this thing together.
It's a workers association.
Okay.
Like yeah, it's an association basically. It's like a group of med students
So you
that just get together.
and
And
have you learned anything from this?
no, I joined because I wanted to like join the sign language class, and later on, for several reasons I couldn't join. The thing is, I totally forgot about them. They
Oh man.
have like these free join this Zoom meeting, and we're gonna talk about this subject or whatever. It's like really nice. They talk about different like subjects and everything, medicine related, obviously. But something that really surprised me was I totally forgot about them. I haven't talked to any of them. Like I know nobody in there. And I received a call not long ago, and I usually don't answer unknown calls. But I was like, what the hell? Who's calling? No, I didn't answer the phone. I was riding my bicycle and I saw that somebody called me when I got home. So I called them back and I'm like, hi, I have a missed call. And they're like, oh yeah, we're from the Medical Student Association and we wanted to ask you, how are you mentally? Like
And you're just
with
like,
COVID and everything. And I was like, wow, they care about me. Like nobody has ever done that. Like not even my university has cared about mental health.
not even my friends. My friends haven't asked me how I'm doing.
And
Who
I
the
told
hell
them
are
like,
you?
well,
Who the hell? It's like, do you
I
wanna be
call my friends.
friends?
I, I like make a call on the other side with my friends, and I'm like, "You're this shit," and they're like, "How are you mentally?" And I'm like, you see, you don't even do that for me."
So good.
But no, it was like I've been pretty well mentally. Like I haven't had any struggles or anything,
That's good.
luckily. But
Yeah.
I was like really grateful with that call. Like they were telling me like, sometimes people have it really bad and sometimes they just want to talk to somebody and we're giving that like space for people to talk to us. And I'm like, that is really nice. Like not my case where I need to talk to somebody because I was doing pretty good and I like started like really healthy hobbies, let's say.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah. Hobbies were the things that saved me. I started getting um, making Game Boys. I forgot the name of them, and I make like, but yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm very grateful for you guys joining us in episode 3, and hopefully, we'll see you in episode 4, where uh, Daniel will be guiding us. I'll see you then.
see you guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.